Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 25. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report. As always, plenty of news, plenty of profits, and we have quite a few things to tell you today. We have a nice launch, which is coming up basically at the same time as we are talking about this, and then the next level we coming in over the next weeks and months to come. We have a couple of high-end profits, so also where we're showing you how it was possible to make more than $50,000 in 3 months, and we have some competitions that are going also the right way that you might want to have a closer look at. So let's get started and let's have a look at the week's profits from all the different projects that we are involved in. The first one is our old friend Yieldnodes, and we've been involved with them all the way back in November 2020. So we are looking forward to the 2-year mark. Once we're there, it still takes a bit of time, obviously. But we're looking at the June profit here, and obviously May and June has been a bit of a difficult couple of months. Last week we saw a very low 0.8%, so for week 2 of June, and we're grateful here to see also that the Yieldnodes team has pushed up the profits again, and we're now looking at 1.4. We'll have to see what they can do with the leftover time in this particular month, but obviously we hope that we're going to get up somewhere around the 5-6% mark, so at least. And it looks like this, so you can see obviously the pink line we have here is for June, so we're even below the May one, so same for the first week, below second week, and then the third week we have a bit of traction. Let's say if they can do a similar recovery as they did last month, so that will obviously be great. And we'll talk a bit more about the Bitcoin and the development a bit later on. So going into the different coins that we are invested in, and SAPP is definitely the flagship for Yieldnodes. It seems to be doing quite well continuously. At the moment, the return on the investment for the shared masternoding here, as you can see, is 52.78. And what we have this particular week again is around 1.5% for the shared masternoding. So we're up in total profits of 60.94%. And then the overall coin development continues to be quite good. It's not at the all-time high. So it was at 462, but we are still okay with 445. This has to be said that we are still calculating this over into euros. And we also have the dollar pair, which is very similar. But if you compared it to the Bitcoin, the percentage will be even higher. On top of this, we can see the development. As you can see, this is against the Bitcoin, so it continues to rise, even though Bitcoin has stabilized now, so around the 2021 mark. And that is great to see that it's going forward. We'll have to see if SAPP is actually going to be the one of the projects. So for the African country here, we have previously mentioned, that will definitely take it even higher if SAPP is going to be the coin to do the job. In the meantime, we're going to have a look at PNY. PNY is doing okay when it comes to the shared masternoding. Return on the investment has dropped a bit, down to 163%. But still, we are getting about 20% every single week, which is obviously great. So for 532% to 552, so definitely going up, and also helping with the coin development, as the coin development continues to be declining, so it hasn't stopped yet, and you can see that out of this particular graph. Again, this is up against the Bitcoin, but it's not doing good against euro or US dollars for that matter either. We hope obviously to see that this will recover fairly soon, so now that Bitcoin, at least for now, has stabilized a bit and running on the flat curve. But obviously we would like to see a nice development as we were used to before. Beer or Birake is also doing quite well. So at the moment, the return on the investment for this one here is around the 64%, so a bit higher than SAPP. And that also means that we have 1.5% for the particular week. And then the coin development has been quite well. received so for the last week, so from 215% to 228%. So overall development is good. You can see just at the end of the top of the chart here, it had a bit of a spike down earlier in the week, but it recovered fairly quickly again. And obviously the trend is very clear. It's going upwards, and we're loving it. So for the people that actually wants to get into the shared masternoding or have your own masternode, this is the video that we sent out back last year. So this is quite a long time, but we see a great hit on this one. And apart from the title, to make 500% return on the investment, which you can see is definitely possible, it is actually a full tutorial from A to Z, everything that you need to know on how to set up the individual Decenomy coins. Also which exchanges to use, and in this particular case we use the Birake, how to exchange your Bitcoin and buy the different Decenomy coins that you need. So it's all in there on the setup, and we definitely encourage you to watch this one before you get started with the shared masternoding. So what is this all about? All the talk about Bitcoin and has a big influence on everything. Well, I mentioned previously in the weeks, it came from 44,000, dropped to 40, then down to 30. And then now we had a huge drop here. So last week down to 18,000, just touch below. And since then it's been moving up again. And at the moment it's running in the range of 21,000. We'll see if that's gonna continue. So, but nobody really knows. Some have decided that at 17,000, if it breaks through there, then it will go down to 10. We will have to wait and see. It might as well go the other way. So there's a lot of big players in there, and we have no influence on where that's going to go. What we do have an influence on many of our projects, and Paraiba is obviously one of them. But we have taken this off the news report. So I know a lot of you are asking about this, if it's gone. It is definitely not gone. All you have to do is send us an email instead, so we can update you on the coming changes, the webinars that are there, the emails, and also get you in on Telegram apps. But obviously you need to be a member of this part in order to share it with you. So unfortunately that's all we can do, but just contact us and we'll get you set up and started and tell you all about it. What we can also tell you all about is Elevate Pass. So for week 25 here, we have seen 0.8% profit, so definitely below where we want it to be. We do hope that also the trading department here, so for Elevate Pass, will push on now that we see at least some pause in the up and downs, so the big spikes here, and we would like to see somewhere around the 1.5%, maybe 1.8% again. So we'll have to see if the management team can do anything about it. But don't forget that there is a whole setup for Elevate Pass, the 10% commission that you can actually get. So on top of the 1.8% per week, you have your matrix commission for everybody else who comes in your line. And one of the important things that we also mentioned last week here, they have a new education sector. And if you need to know more about crypto, this is definitely the place to go in. You can buy your own education material, and at the same time you can then also make a bit of money if you refer other ones into this. So there's good opportunities apart from the weekly profits that Elevate Pass sends out. A great opportunity is our new video we sent out last week. So this is regarding solar farm, and basically where they are bringing a casino into the metaverse. They have a solar token, and in that particular video we tell you all about it, who's a bit behind it here, so and how exactly it works. And there's a new announcement for the whole part. So it has been a bit on hold while they have developed and made some changes in there. So, but all the boosting for the daily return on the investments is coming back on the 24th. That basically means that at the time of this news report, we should have something in the announcements channels again. And don't forget that the normal return on the investment, which was around 14.28%, will go up, and or it could go down. So cooling phase is down to 8, back up to 14%, and then supernovas are 20%. And then you can go all into hypernova or solar flare, where you can get all the way up to 100%. Obviously, these are only very limited times of day, but there will be an announcement in there. So it's a good way of interacting with all the users and with all the miners. And also this week here, there was more than an hour so of podcast, and we have put this particular podcast on our website that explains a bit more about the solar farm, the version 1, the version 2, which both are going to be running side by side. It's going to tell you a lot about what is actually coming. So obviously the metaverse is the first part where you can go in as a miner, but the next parts will be slot machines, it will be poker, there will be many new great things that will come in, and they will also use the solar farm tokens. So we believe that this is a win-win for everybody. Definitely when you have a casino and you have some coins, that means you could have a seriously good profit. So now is the time to go in if you really want to have a head start. So go to our website, have a look at the video that we made, plus this particular one, and you should be well suited to see if this is actually something you want to get involved in. What we are involved in is AI marketing. And for the first 22 days of June, we are down to 7.26%. Last week we mentioned it's mostly down to the advertising budget that hasn't moved. Good news is it's moving, but it's moving very slowly. We have seen it pick up from all our robots, but not at the pace that we saw previously. So we are not exactly sure how long it's going to take to catch up. But I think for most of the people here, better hang on and believe that everything will only be better sometime in end of July. I cannot see this happening anytime sooner. But 7% is obviously still nice overall, but not in comparison to what we've seen with AI marketing before. So the updates that we normally should send out every 2 weeks, we haven't been able to do this, basically because AI marketing has canceled the meetings time after time with the leaders in there. And that means we don't really have much news other than they are still working on it. They're working on the issues. But what they should be working on maybe is a bit better communication. So with the rest of us, we actually know what's happening. So again, we're not signing any people up right now, which is also why we removed all the links. So at the same time, we still have a problem, either putting money in or taking money out. And AI marketing needs to resolve this. Obviously, the good part is that if they haven't resolved this, that also means that they're not really getting the ad budget up and running either. And again, since we are sharing the ad budget and the profits coming in, I'm sure they are eager to make sure that everything comes back online. Yeah, otherwise they will lose a lot of money too. What we haven't lost any money on is our profit retriever at the moment. This is our latest video. It's just been released a couple of days ago, and we have quite nice reviews coming back. So I have to warn you, this is a lengthy video of about 1 hour, but it's definitely worth seeing. So this goes 3 months back. So it's a review since we started off with the profit retriever, and we explain the setups, how we work it, how we adjust it, and how you can actually profit from this in the best way possible. It is a very stable EA, and we are quite impressed with this one. We are using this day to day, not only just for the demo accounts. So everything that we have running at the moment is what you see on the screen here. So we have 11 robots running, so each with a $10,000 account. And we have already seen the silver USD has passed 25,000. We also have British US pounds that has more than doubled the account, and all the rest is doing quite well. Last week we mentioned the US 30 index was blown, and in the video that I just showed you before, we go into detail of why that happened and why it wasn't really the robot's fault. But basically we learned a few things from that, and that is very interesting to know, especially if you want to trade this one here. So the silver USD passed 25,000. We already passed the 26 also, so more than 150% in very safe settings for just 3 months. The second part we have is the British USD, which also passed here now, so the 10,000 or 100% mark. And that is quite astonishing for these robots. We have more that are coming very close to it. And in the video, you can see our full spreadsheet for the individual trades. So both for the metal, for the index, and for the Forex robots. And that leads us up to this week's profit retriever profits. And these are the top 5 of the 11 we have in here. It's been a decent week. And when I say that, it's British pounds USD has actually hit more than 20%, so 21%, making more than $2,000 this particular week. So quite astonishing results, as you can see. The cat Swiss franc, we really like this one. It's very, very stable, very low drawdowns for most of the time. $1,532 in a week, or 15.5%. We also have the gold back. So the gold USD ended up at 908, 9.1%. So good to see it back up there. Aussie USD, which we also made some adjustments on some weeks back, is doing quite well, 869 or 8.7%. And then the Euro Japanese, 854 and 8.5. Silver also did quite well, but obviously not as well as these particular ones this week. And when you put all the profits together here, that means that just trading these 5 robots for 1 week would have provided you with $6,263 or a profit of 12.5%. So these are quite astonishing results, but they are proven again and again. Very, very stable robots. We simply love it. And just to show you that this is actually not just out of this world profits, there is still a profit retriever trading competition, and it's actually heating up. We sent a post out a couple of days ago here saying after the first 4 weeks of running this competition with Expert 4X, the leader was at 382%. And we are now, just before we made this news video here, they were at 399%. We also sent a post out earlier saying we were actually 21st in this particular competition, and we expected to move forward up in the ranks, and we had a couple of good days with more than $700, and yet we managed actually to go backwards. Imagine that. So obviously some people made even more money than us. We're obviously happy to see that that is possible. So but we are running fairly safe settings even in this competition, so because we are not so interested in competitions where you basically just run one set and hope for the best. We want to make sure that we can push the limits for the robots, but without blowing everything. So it'll be interesting to see where we end up compared to the people that really taking high risk, high chances. We saw a couple of people blow their accounts along the way, and that is not the way that we want to run this competition. We simply want to compare our fairly safe settings up against what other people are doing. So making 382% in 4 weeks is absolutely astonishing. And when you see how many people are in there and how well all the profits are running, I've never seen anything like that on any other robot trading competition that I've been in here before. So definitely worth having a look. As always, we have a whole homepage for this, including some of the videos that Alex has made to make sure that you can get the best possible start to your robot trading career. And that's what we have for you in this week's news report. As always, we hope you find this very positive and informative. So we have taken a lot of pluses out of this, despite the downturn, and a lot of places on the crypto market has hit very, very hard. But if you continue to diversify, then we do believe that it's possible to continue to have a nice positive results overall. So I wish you the best profits until I see you hopefully next week. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.